72 Cutlass S with a 350 rocket. Very original car, parked for a very long time, but had a lot of rust and was not running. Took the engine out, took it to a machine shop, and I started cleaning up car parts and was going to work with the front end and just clean the clip and work in sections. But going through the process of that, there was just too much rust on the body where it had to be removed from the frame. So I separated it and did a frame off, and I made a frame dolly with square tubing, and then made it easy to roll it around on the cement. And I just started replacing the bad metal, and at the same time cleaning car parts, repainting them, got the engine back from the machine shop, and it was a little overwhelming with car parts everywhere, trying to keep everything organized, taking a lot of photos, and labeling everything that was being disassembled. The roof, that was a big piece of metal to be replaced. It was Auto Metal Direct, and I had to do a lot of preparation on getting the new roof installed. But for the first time doing this type of work, it was kind of self-explanatory. I watched a lot of videos and how-tos, and used a Harbor Freight welder, and didn't spend a lot of money doing it, just a lot of time.
So that's how this hole punch works. Alright, 72 Cutlass passenger floor pan, Auto Metal Direct. It's in good condition. A lot of excess pan that I'm not going to be using. I cut the rusted area out with this cutoff wheel, Harbor Freight grinder. This cutoff wheel is also Harbor Freight, and it was easy to cut. Only the metal that I need to replace. This lines up very nice. The replacement panel. So what I'm going to do is, on some of the patch panels, I was struggling a little bit on the butt weld, so this one I'm going to do a lap weld because I don't want to mess it up. So I'm going to use my old panel as a template, and I'm going to put tape around the perimeter of the metal that I do not want to cut, and that's going to be my guide. You have a brace underneath this section here. Be sure you do not cut your brace. Look underneath the car and take your measurements, and do not cut that support brace. And you have one in your front corner, and I miscalculated and I clipped a little piece, which is not a critical, but it's just something to keep in mind. You don't want to cut those braces. So there's my template. I left excess. I may have to do some additional trimming, but I'd rather have an oversized and then make my adjustments as I go. It may take a little bit longer, but doing this for the first time, I'd just rather be on the safe side. Be sure to do all your necessary trimming and adjustments. You may have to make some adjustments on your patch panel to fit snug in your area that you're going to weld this panel. I ended up doing additional trimming in this back area, additional trimming here. Be sure not to cut your brace, just to get a better fit. So it allows me to have a 1/4 inch overlap for a lap weld, and little by little your panel will start to take shape and form. So I may do some clamps start tack welding, I'll have to tack weld and hammer. And I'll probably have to still do some adjustments in this back corner. Before I start welding this panel, I'm going to get a combination between a wire wheel and a grinder and clean the whole perimeter edge so I can get a nice clean weld on a clean metal surface. Alright, so I have the pan tack welded and it's solid now. I'm glad I did a lap weld because in this area over here it started to seem like it was almost turning into a butt weld. So the metal's going to shrink on you. It's going to go and try to move in different directions. I was getting the rag as I welded, cooling it down, and it helped the metal stay in the same shape. But it's a solid pan. It's not warping. So far it's been successful. After I grinded the tack welds, I'm going to continue welding every spot so it's fully sealed, and then grind it down again and should have a finished product. 72 Cutlass. The trunk finally has new metal. Now it's time for hours of body work. Get it prepped and paint, going back splatter paint.
Time frame on the build has gone way over by years. Budget on the build has gone way over as well, which can be expected on a project of this magnitude. And I just go in stages and pace myself. Sometimes I have to take a break and just keep on going little by little and trying to do most of the work myself. If you take it to a shop or do it yourself, it's not going to happen overnight. And the hardest part seems to be just getting everything clean, prepped, ready for paint. The frame was stripping it down to the metal and epoxy primer and a frame, single stage frame paint. I try to cut cost. You know, I would like to powder coat and just a lot of upgrades, but I had to pick and choose where I need to try to save my money and try to do what I can do here in my backyard. But you know, it's moving along and things are going well, and hopefully this helps somebody out to make a decision whether they want to tackle on a project. And you know, it's good to do it yourself because you know exactly what is being done to the car, and you can learn. There's a lot of videos out there on specifics. I'll be putting more videos out there on more detailed information on certain specifics on the assembly of the car and putting it back onto the frame and firing up the car and the whole finished process. So thanks for watching.